Springboks versus Wales this weekend. Who should Rossi pick? Who will he pick? There's a lot of guys not playing. There's a lot of guys not available. There's a lot of guys with a few injuries. So this weekend's team could be a much different team. From what I've gathered, it looks like Malcolm Marx, Thomas du Toit, Bowen Venter, Louis de Jager, Erge Snyman, Peter Steph du Toit, Grant Williams, Andre Pollard, Manu Lebok, Jesse Creel, Cheslin Colby, Edward van der Merwe will all not be able to play this weekend against Wales. So that makes it very, very interesting for who they might select. Very interesting. So I'm going to base my selection for who I think they should and who I think they should based on this. So it's going to be quite interesting. So let's get right into it. At number one, honestly, I think the whole front row is going to be the Bulls front row because it's going to be a tough game in Wales. And, you know, you want to end the year undefeated in the end of year tour, and it's a very big game for the guys still. So I'm going to go front row of Gerard Steenkamp, Johan Grobler to get the start, and Volkelo to get the start. So I think that's going to be the front row. I think they might have been rewarded now with the start this game after they've had a really good form coming off the bench together, and I think it'll be good for Johan Grobler to get some game time as well. I think that it will be in the locks. I heard something about Jean Klein being available. So from in my opinion, I think it's going to be Jean Klein and Ruan Nortje. Jean Klein at 4 or 5 and Ruan Nortje at 5. So I think those will be the locks. Jean Klein had a good game last time out, and it'll be good for him to get another cap. He'll be wanting to get a go, show what he can do. He's been on great form for Munster as well lately. So, and I mean, Ruan Nortje might even be captain this weekend. That honestly could be a possibility of Ruan Nortje being captain. So that definitely is a possibility, and he's been in incredible form. I don't know if they want to give him a rest. He's played so many minutes, but it seems like Erge Snyman's out and Louis de Jager. So it's either Etzebeth or Ruan Nortje. I think they'll go with Ruan Nortje. At number 6, I think they are going to go for Marco van Staden at 6. I just have that feeling that this week he's going to get another go, but in the 6th jersey. At number 7, I think they're going to go for... This is where it gets tough. I think they're going to go for Ben Jason Dixon at 7 this week. Just have a feeling that they're going to do that. He had a bit of a... Not a nightmare game. Nightmare for him. He didn't play many minutes because of all the red cards that happened. Obviously, Franco Mostert, and there was a few other cards that happened. But yeah, I think Ben Jason Dixon will get the start at 7. At number 8, I think it will be Kwagga Smith. Jasper Wiese might be available, but I think Kwagga will get the start. I just have that gut feeling that he'll get the start this week. At number 9, I think it's going to be Morne van der Berg. And I think because of all the flyers that aren't available, I think he's going to start alongside Sasha van Bergen Zulu. I think those will be the 9 and 10 this week, or it'll be Morne van der Berg coming off the bench and Reinach getting the starts again. So I think it'll be between those two because Grant Williams isn't available. Unless they've brought in Faf last minute, I think those will be the 2 scrum offs. But obviously I think Sasha will play 10. I think it'll be good for him to get a game at 10 again, just keep that form going and be able to maybe play with a different 9 as well, just to see that there is that combination there. In the centres, this is where it gets a bit tricky. So I'm not sure if Dale Lindy is available. It says here he is, but I'm going to go and say that it will be Esterhuizen. But Cheslin Colby's not available as well, so that's going to be quite tough for selection. I think it'll be Esterhuizen and Dale Lindy in the centres this week, possibly. If Dale Lindy's available, I think it'll be Esterhuizen and Dale Lindy potentially available because of all the other injuries. Because I think, based on all the things we see here, it looks like... Honestly, because I thought Curtly Orange might not be available as well. I think it'll be Esterhuizen and Dale Lindy in the centres, possibly. I know this is completely different to what we normally see, but I think that's what it might be. And I think it'll be Kenan Moody and Ethan Hooker on the wings. That's just what I think it might be this week. I've just got a gut feeling that it might be that. It'll either be that or it'll be... If Curtly Orange is available, I think it'll be then Esterhuizen at 12... Moody at 13, Ethan Hooker and Curtly Orange on the 2 wings, and Damien Willemse at fullback. That's just what I think it might be if they are available. If Curtly Orange isn't available, which I see Edward van der Merwe isn't available as well, then I think it'll be Esterhuizen and Dale Lindy if Dale Lindy is available. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see who they select. So then in the bench, I think it'll be Bongio Banambi in the bench at number 16. He's come back into the squad. He knows how to play. He's been in the system for a while now. He's won 2 World Cups with the guys. He's still one of the leaders. He's one of the captains still. I mean, great player. Knows what he's doing. Massive impact always. can come on and be a bit of a leadership presence, which they might need in the later parts of the game, especially if it's a very much changed team. Then on the reserve front row, I'm going to go for Mchunu and Zachary Porton. I think those will be the two guys that get the shot. I know Brian Fenter isn't available, and we're quite low on prop stocks at the moment, so I'm going to go and say that the bench front row will be Bonga Manambi, Mchunu, because they've scrummed together before, and probably Zachary Porton. I think those will be the three. It might be different, but those are the only three available. Thomas Toy isn't available either. So then on the bench, we might see Ibn Etzebeth. I think Ibn Etzebeth will play this week just because of the locks. The problem with the lock stocks we have right now, there's none of them are available. Some of them are in. You know what? Based on this, I think Franco Mostert might actually play this week. So I think Franco Mostert will come off the bench or be a number 7. So it'll either be, I think, Franco Mostert at 7 or Ben Jason Dixon at 7 or vice versa. Franco Mostert on the bench and Ben Jason Dixon on the bench. Now for the bench loose forwards, if Jasper Wiese is I think it'll be this week, it'll be Sia Khaleesi on the bench and Jasper Wiese, because I think Jasper Wiese is available. It's a very tough selection this week, especially for guys that don't know who's available, who's not available. It's going to be very interesting. But I think it'll be Sia Khaleesi and Jasper Wiese. I think those will be the two guys that will be available and ready to play. Don't think they will start, because I think the other guys will get a bit of a chance to start this week. And I think that because of the lack of numbers in the squad right now, I think those guys will get a chance to play. They might, even if there's another forward, they might even throw another one in to make it a 7-1. Because I can't even think about who's available right now. It's actually quite difficult to think who could possibly play. But yeah, though I think it'll be Sia Khaleesi and Jasper Wiese on the bench. So for now, I've got Bongi Manambia bench reserve hooker. Then I've got Ntutoko Mchunu, great plays, called back into the squad, him and Bongi. Then I got Zachary Porton. Then I got Ibn Etzebeth, Sia Khaleesi, and Jasper Wiese. That's actually a very good bomb squad. I'm just thinking, I know Kobus Reinach will probably be on the bench this week. He'll probably get a go. And I don't know if they've pulled anyone else up. I'm just trying to think who else they could be, possibly. I've just checked, and I think I'm going to change my bench. So I think it might be this week. I think, based on the resources, it can only be a 7-1 split. I see Edward van der Merwe has gone for the birth of his child, so that's obviously a very valid reason. Grant Williams is with the Sharks this week, so that's going to be interesting. So I think for me, I think that the bench will be Bongi Banambi at 16, obviously a reserve hooker. Then you've got Ntutoko Mchunu, Zachary Porton. Then you have Ibn Etzebeth, Franco Mostert, as well as Sia Khaleesi and Jasper Wiese. So it's going to be a 7-1 split on the bench, in my opinion. And then Kobus Reinach, who can cover wing, who can cover scrum half. And then you have a lot of guys in the backline that can cover other positions as well. So I think it's going to be that. It's going to be a much different team. I've seen a lot of comments saying that they're surprised that it's not a friendly, that it's a test match, especially with all the players outside of the test window that can't play for their countries. Even Wales, some of their guys can't play because the URC is playing this week again. So it's very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting team selection, but we will be reacting to it. And I think it's going to be awesome for guys to get a chance. I mean, I know I'm really excited for next season to see maybe an Ulrich Loh, Evan Roos, or Cameron Hanekom, even all those three guys get a game together. That'll be awesome to see, especially with all the games being played next year. But this should be an exciting game, should be an exciting team, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, so much for watching, and leave your comments down below, and thanks for helping the channel grow.